Hey Agosians, and welcome to the 2022 Agosha Performance Program. I am so excited to be able to launch this program after many attempts at trying to really hone in and nail what it is that we are ultimately wanting to produce for each and every one of our athletes in the studio. Last year was a learning, I suppose. We spent a lot of time going through 8-week programs and 10-week programs, and then 10-week cycles and 10-week protocols. And I thought, what is it we're trying to achieve here? And so the ultimate program that we've come up with, which is, I believe, is the closest we could produce for you to give you a serious, sustainable goal-setting option for yourself, for your goals, for life. And that had to come from getting away from the idea of a 10-week program, because that in itself suggests that there's a start date and an end date. There is no start date and end date. Of course you can start when you like, and of course you can finish when you like. But the idea is that 10-week programs are, they're designed to give you a goal and make you think that at the end of it, it's like, right, I'm done. Okay, I can get back on with my life. This is a lifestyle choice. So throughout the course of this year, we will have 6 different personal best weeks. And they'll be separated throughout the course of the year over 5 different cycles. So I've created this performance booklet I'm about to run you through. It's 10 pages and most of it is interactive. Another learning we had from last year from the performance book that we created was that it was way too wordy. This now is literally almost every page has something for you to be able to activate, and it's your book for the year. It's not something that we're going to give you again in another cycle's time. You'll have all of your data from everything that you record from January, then to April, then June, August, October, and then in December, from all of your personal best challenges, including your body composition and all of your assessment results. So what I wanted to do in this video today, guys, was just give you a quick walkthrough of everything that you're about to see. I've also started populating it with my own data. And so throughout the course of this, I may well update these videos just to refresh people's minds on how to access them and how to fill them out, because I understand there'll be some negotiations joining us throughout the course of this year. And it's also a little reminder for you too, just to make sure you get that book out. So first things first. When you get this book, and it'll be emailed to you, I want you to take it, download it, and put it somewhere that you're going to see it all the time. So straight away for me, I'll put it onto my desktop, it's just in front here, but I've just thrown it up onto the screen for you so you can see it. So just a quick walkthrough, guys. As I said, it's 10 pages, and I'm going to really fly through it so you can get an idea, and most of this stuff you can read yourself. The first is the welcome page. The most important part on the welcome page is to make sure you add yourself to the Facebook tribe. That's where we're going to put all of the data for everything that you'll get to see throughout the course of the next cycle and every cycle beyond that. And eventually there'll be some stuff that only Unlimiteds can access to really make this an official Unlimited only performance program that you're working hard to be able to get some results from. And then down here, it's literally just focusing on the benefits of why you're doing this performance program in the first place. It's increasing your strength, your overall endurance, your speed, your agility, your power, and the different ways in which we're going to address those. They'll all come together to be able to make sure that you can achieve those goals. Then we go into goal setting. Now you'll note straight away here on this page, it's very blank, there's a lot of stuff for you to be able to fill out, but we just literally put the goals down every single cycle. So the first cycle is January, you're going to put the goals down here. I've literally just populated this myself. This is an entirely interactive workbook. You can do this all online. I'll increase my mobility. So my own goal is I want to get my hands on the ground rather than just touch the toes and get my fingers on the ground. I actually want to get a fair amount more mobility. So that's going to require me to be able to get a lot more range of motion through my thoracic spine, my rib cage, my lumbar spine, my hamstrings, anything that's the posterior chain, to make that happen. So I've got a bit of work to do. Might not see it in the first cycle, but that's my journey this year. And then I've also put down, I want to increase my endurance and I want to increase my strength. But I haven't done the personal best week next week, so they're yet to be filled out. So some of this stuff in the goals, you probably won't actually access or populate until the end of next week, but just know that it's here. And then at the bottom of every cycle, you've got a review. How are you feeling? How did you go? Did you get there? Did you fall off the wagon? What happened? So that when we start back in April again and we reset the goals for the next cycle, you can start to review on how you went up until that point. Then we go down to your training plan. So again, January, April, so it's just the 5 blocks. So you'll only fill out that top section for the first cycle. I just put in here, it says how many sessions per week. I want to aim for 5. Based on my goals, That's going to split somewhere around 2 stronger, 1 leaner, 1 signature, and 1 yoga session. I'll probably have 2 days rest. That's what I'm looking for. And then the last one here is just like a sensor check. Does everything you filled out there, does it relate to the goals that you're trying to achieve? Because if you put in 4 stronger sessions here and you want to increase your cardio endurance, then maybe you need to rethink that. So it's just a little sensor check box. Heading down here, we go into the good stuff, which you'll all have seen before. It's your body composition page. Now there's 9 spots in that over the course of the year for you to be able to add and check in with your body composition. We always encourage you to come to us as coaches in every personal best week to takes 30 seconds, not even, for us to be able to give you that data so you can populate it into your books. So anytime we have a PB week, we will remind you to come and tap us on the shoulder before or after a session, and we'll get you on the body composition scale so you can populate that for yourselves. And then we go into the 3 assessment sessions. So this is the juicy stuff. So we'll start with Stronger. Stronger actually has the rundown of how to record your Stronger sessions. So you've got it all here in one spot. What the 4 movement patterns will be for the year. So that's what we're going to focus on to see if we can use those as key performance indicators to see your improved strength. And then at the bottom of that page, that's just the one page, this has got it down here. You've got the date. You'll put down your squats, the reps, and the weight. And it's actually got a calculator here. So reps times weight will equal a total amount of tonnage or kilos that you've lifted. So if you've lifted 10 reps at 50 kilos, that's 500 kilos. And what we're looking for is that total tonnage. How much overall weight can you lift so that we can actually literally see progression over strength over the course of the year. So we've got it for the squat, the deadlift. You've got opposing arms there. You've got a single arm strict press for left and right, so you can record both. And then the straight bar lat pull down we'll show you next week. Go into leaner, it's the same setup. You've got the explanation, and then it goes into how to record it. We will, of course, record all of these at throughout each of the PB weeks, so we will have this. If you miss taking the data, let us know and we'll send it through to you so you can populate it for yourself, because it's always nice to have it on your person. You want to see your progression as you go. And then, of course, we've got a block run included for leaner this week too, or this year too. The third and final, guys, is of course faster, slightly tweaked version of faster session this year. You will be tasked with 5 attempts, max efforts, every 10 seconds on each of the 3 key disciplines, dead tread, rower, and bike. And then what we do this year is we're going to take the average of those 5. So that's going to require you to go as hard as possible for every one of those 5 efforts, because you want to get that average as high as you possibly can. That was the learning from last year. We had 2 efforts per round, and then you go around and do 3 rounds. But what we found was, because you're going for the best of the 2, there's a temptation to sort of go at 80% for one of them and then go all out 100% for the second, which ultimately is not the required outcome for a faster session. You want to tap out your alactic system and give 100% of whatever's in your body. And that's easy when you start a course, but when you get to about 80 to 70% of you, we still want to see 100% of that. So that's where we want to really get that clear data of 5 attempts on every station. More about that next week. Once you get through there, guys, we do have now a nutrition calculator. I'm going to go into this in a bit more detail, but just to give you a bit of an overview, I've just populated this myself. I've just literally put in here my daily calorie consumption. Now, I've got an average of, I know what that is because of what I do, but a lot of people won't know. And that's where Karen Aroney will come in from Exec Fuel. So she will be able to assist you based on your goals and based on your current intake of food, where you should be sitting, whether it's a calorie surplus or deficit in terms of the calories that you need to consume to get you through your day and to hit your goals. Once you know what that number is, you can then start dividing it down by percentage to see the overall calorie breakdown. And then what we've got is a little breakdown of what does that mean in grams? Like how many grams of protein should I eat? How many grams? So this is really a macronutrient breakdown. Now some people might look at that and think that scares the shit out of me. You don't have to use it, all right? It's just in there because I'm a numbers person and I know some of you are numbers people. So you might look at that and think, oh, that's good. That gives me a bit of a goal. Now, my breakdown of protein as an example here is 150 grams a day. That doesn't mean that I'm now weighing my proteins, but what it does allow me to do is just have a better understanding of when I'm looking at what I'm eating, how close am I getting to 150? Am I shortchanging myself, or am I eating way too much? So I can just start to bring things back into line. So I'm not a serious number cruncher, and I'm not panicking about my food every day. but it does give me a bit of a benchmark. I'm thinking, okay, well I'm actually pretty much on the mark. So in order for me to continue with my diet's pretty similar week in, week out, there's a fair chance I'm going to be able to achieve my goals, which is increasing that strength, which you saw earlier. We've got a little food breakdown by serves and grams here, and this is a nice from Karen, from us to you. So you can have a look at that from carbohydrates and proteins, and that's just something that you can gloss over in your own time. And then the last thing down here, we've got, instead of having, in the past, we've had the big 7-day diet diaries, and we had like 3 of them, week 1, week 5, week 9. And I don't know if anyone actually completed all of them, because that's a lot of work. So I thought, right, bugger that. Let's take that back and give you a chance to be able to compare 2 moments in time, and you get to choose. So my recommendation would be take 3 days from the first week. Now you can do it next week, you can do it the week after, but in the first 2 weeks, put 3 days down, and they should be consecutive days. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Put the food down, the way you're feeling, what sort of training you did on those particular days. Because if you're consistent with your training, then those 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, should be the same, generally speaking, week in, week out. And then give it a few weeks and then write it down again. Now, hopefully you'll have gotten something out of the nutrition seminar, or maybe even a 20-minute complimentary consultation with Karen, and you'll start to understand a little bit more, have a little bit more clarity around how your food has a massive role to play in your training, and maybe it starts to just tweak or adjust things. So you have 3 days to compare in weeks 1 or 2, whichever one you choose. And then about halfway through the program, I want you to pick those exact same days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then jot down that data and just compare them side by side. So it's a much simpler process. And when you see it like this, I think it's a lot more digestible, pardon the pun, but easier to fill out. And then you've got a page for notes. Guys, that's it. It's 10 pages. It's super easy. It's super interactive. And it's all for you, and it's for the entire year. So you've got it now to use at your disposal. So good luck. Once again, I'll send another video out for this probably at the start of the next cycle. So if you've missed anything here or you want some clarity, you'll probably get it then. Or guys, feel free to ask any questions at any point. So good luck for next week, and let's get stuck into 2022 and smashing your goals. Here we go.